After more than 2 months in the hospital, one of the 3 people critically injured after a fire broke out at a few days before July 4th at a fireworks stand in southeast Oklahoma is headed home. Tonight, an update you'll only see on 5 News. Brad Llewellyn is a firefighter at Camp Gruber. He was helping make a delivery of fireworks at a Choctaw Nation building in Tuskahoma when that accident happened. His wife, Talisha, says he's ready to go home on Friday.
Our doctor and burn care staff here have been phenomenal, but they want him to get home and heal. He had I shouldn't say too many, he had so many surgeries that they're like, you just need to go home and rest and then decide what do you want us to work on next. He wants to go home. Our kids have got to see him one time since he's been up here.
She says her husband is lucky to have survived this accident.
Brad does remember some things from the accident, which good and bad. It is what it is. And hearing his recollection amazes me even more that he is alive. The nursing and doctors here again said the only reason he survived at somebody that's 39 is because of the shape that he kept his body in.
Talisha says the next step is getting used to the new norm of continued treatment and recovery.
He's getting a lot more dexterity back in his hands. They're still very swollen. They're working on range of motion with his arms, and obviously his legs, with the majority of his body being burnt like it is, he's lost a lot of mobility. And so he'll still have to have several surgeries coming up for skin releases. The future is always unknown, but ours just came with a whole lot more uncertainty that we'll just have to take it one step at a time and really just face whatever comes with hopefully a positive attitude.
She says she and her family have been overwhelmed with support since the fire and says she can't say thanks enough.
I don't think the words, thank you are ever enough. I feel like I'm minimizing the gratitude that Brad and I feel by just saying thank you, we appreciate it, which if I typed that once, I typed it 1,000 times. Words cannot express how humbled both Brad and I are, and hopefully we can repay all the gratitude, all the generosity and everything that has been shown to us, in the future, pay it forward. But yeah, there's not enough thanks in the world to say what we truly feel.
Eli Smith of Vian was critically injured and died a few weeks after the accident. Cash Collins, also of Vian, is still recovering from his injuries. A cause of that fire has still not been determined. We're, of course, following the deadly shooting of Charlie Kirk from this afternoon, the conservative activist killed today while speaking at a university in Utah. We just learned within the past hour from the FBI that someone is in custody for the shooting. Police have not announced a name or revealed a possible motive, only that they have a suspect in custody. Shortly after the shots rang out around 1 hour Mountain Time, people in the panicked crowd and students at the university spoke about the chaos that unfolded as they ran for cover.
Really couldn't exit because there's such a big crowd. So I turned around, and like 10 to 20 seconds later, after I got done talking to Charlie, I saw that he was shot in the neck.
And I saw all the crowd running as fast as I could, and I was worried about people trampling each other. And I saw 2 college-age girls one was having a panic attack. So I grabbed both of them because she was collapsing and rushed her down underneath the tunnel and got her to calm down, then put her in my car and got her hold of her parents.
Kirk was 31 years old and leaves behind a wife and 2 small children. He founded the organization Turning Point USA, and tonight at 10, we're going to hear from local leaders about the impact he and Turning Point had on conservative politics, not only here in Arkansas, but across the nation.
Tonight at 6, we're digging deeper into an agreement between 2 local law enforcement agencies that they say will make it easier for them to work together to keep people safe. 5 News reporter Bo Russell found out why the Choctaw Nation and Fort Smith Police Department is teaming up.
According to Fort Smith Mayor George McGill, this new partnership can set an example for how state and federal law enforcement can coexist with Native American tribes. The new agreement makes the distinction between this parking lot in Arkansas and the casino in Oklahoma and on Choctaw land irrelevant. This cross-deputization allows Fort Smith police to respond to calls at the Choctaw Casino and give assistance to tribal police when needed. We're told it's the first agreement of its kind in the state of Arkansas. Mayor George McGill of Fort Smith spoke about the importance of good relationships with neighboring Native American communities.
Take, for example, just recently, the Cherokee Nation contributed, I think, approximately $8 million to a new cancer center right here in Fort Smith, Arkansas. So we have great relationships, and again, it's just a shining example of what we do when we come together to focus on the things we can do for the people who live in our region.
Fort Smith Police Chief Danny Baker says that in most cases, Fort Smith Police is going to defer to the Choctaw Nation. In Fort Smith, covering news where you live, I'm Bo Russell, 5 News.
Thanks, Bo. And the city of Rogers held a ribbon cutting this afternoon for a new tunnel improving access to the Rail Yard Loop Trail. The tunnel is located at the intersection of 8th and Easy Streets with features that will make it an ideal rest stop for cyclists in a busy part of town.
Growth is huge for this area, and this is such a important hub for people who travel, whether they're going downtown or going to work. There's just so many reasons that people travel through here, and this is just an important way to keep them safe and keep them moving.
Along with the infrastructure improvements, the tunnel features a 120-foot mural by a Rogers-based artist, Aaron Ashcraft. Well, Apple is rolling out a new line of products this week, including the brand new iPhone Air, the thinnest iPhone ever made.
Yeah, the devices hit stores a week from Friday and are Apple's first new smartphone release since President Trump announced new trade tariffs earlier this year. Apple says it's taken a number of steps to mitigate the impact, including expanding its manufacturing operations in India. The first ever iPhone Air has a price tag of nearly $1,000. Now, the iPhone 17 and 17 Pro also were released next week. It'll cost you between $800 and $1,100, respectively.
Wallet Hub reports nearly 9 in 10 Americans think that price point is too high, and rising prices on everyday items will likely keep them from upgrading this year.
For the most part, Apple is still very much a premium brand when it comes to phones. The Apple ecosystem is really strong. And I think that some of that shine is starting to come off with the competition that we're seeing around AI.
Economists expect Apple will take a $1.1 billion tariff-related hit this quarter.
Supreme Court will take up a case later this year if the president's sweeping global tariffs are legal. High Court will hear arguments in November. Trump administration says the tariffs are needed to address trade deficits and control the flow of illegal drugs into the U.S. Tariffs will stay in place until the legal challenges are resolved.